In a stunning blow to leftists and Democrats on the internet, they were caught lying about the 5-year-old boy who received the Grammy Award from Bad Bunny during the halftime show yesterday. Once again, it goes to show how far they will go to lie in an effort to undermine this administration and this entire mass deportation operation. As you guys can see here on the screen, it wasn't just leftists, but it was also CNN anchors who were reposting this misinformation. Now, at the same time, the president sat down for an interview with NBC News to tout his economic wins. Obviously, we're going to leave it up to you to confirm whether or not you believe the economy is good or bad. However, I want to first show you this clip from CNN and their reaction to the boy receiving the Grammy Award, and they found a unique way to spin it. Watch this.
There was this really sweet moment when he walks up to a family watching TV, and hopefully we can show that moment here on the screen, and he hands his Grammy that he just got last week to this little boy right here. The internet thought the boy was Liam Ramos, who was taken into ICE custody with his father. But CNN has learned the moment was meant to symbolize his younger self getting the statuette. A powerful scene either way.
Well, I can only expect from you that it's not shocking to hear the way CNN is characterizing this. We know what the statement is there. But again, it wasn't as aggressive as the Grammys. I mean, Grammys was like F-ice this and F-ice that. You didn't see that during the halftime show. It was very, in my opinion, conservative if you compare them. But at any rate, it doesn't matter what DeVory thinks. What does the president think? Well, let's read it. He says it's one of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country. Understand something. Bad Bunny is not the problem here. In fact, it's my opinion, he should have been performing for the World Cup as an example, okay? Listen, at the end of the day, the NFL has destroyed the halftime show as we know it. This is just another example. Okay. The commercials are atrocious. We don't need 80 different GLP-1 injections being sold to us. Okay. I mean, that's really what it was. And at the same time, you had Turning Points USA halftime show, which was a success. Technically, anytime you can get up to 40 million total views online for a single event, yeah, I would call that a success. But at any rate, let's go to the president and what he had to say about the economy yesterday. Watch this.
Said you inherited a mess from President Biden when it comes to the economy. But at what point is it on you? At what point are we in the Trump economy?
Oh, I'd say we're there now. I'm very proud of it, 5.6%. You know, we have a GDP of 5.6 despite a shutdown. We had a 42-day shutdown. They call it the Democrat shutdown. And because of that, I lost 1.5 points. I would have been at a 7 GDP, which hasn't been seen, I don't know, ever, maybe ever.
Yeah.
And I think 26 is even going to be better. You know, we have hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our country, actually trillions. $18 trillion is being invested in our country as we speak. And there are factories and plants and thousands of businesses being built all over the country. Nobody has ever seen it. I just spoke to President Xi of China. Nobody has ever seen anything like what's happening right now in America.
When will we see those jobs and those factories open? Because manufacturing has been down.
Well, you're already seeing it in construction because they're all building. You know, we have factories being built, car plants are coming in from Canada, coming in from Mexico. They're leaving Germany, Japan. They're all coming into the United States. And you're seeing it in your construction numbers. And, you know, the plant, we have to build them. And the plants are under construction.
In your term, you think those plants will open in your term?
They'll be opening up over the next year and a half.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have data centers that are opening, of course. AI. I mean, listen, the amount of investments in AI right now, you could barely even comprehend it. In fact, one could argue they're carrying the stock market at this point. So if you're looking towards the stock market to figure out where the economy is doing good, I don't think you should look there. Okay. I think the economy is doing good when people's income is catching up with inflation, essentially. Now, this is where the president doesn't get enough credit, which is they were able to slow down inflation. Well, having said that, let's go to CNN's take on this because they have the polar opposite view.
The economy used to be the wind beneath Donald Trump's presidency wings, and now it's his Titanic. Because what are we talking about here? Well, let's just take a look here. Trump's economic net approval 1 year in term one, hey, yeah, plus side of ledger, plus 8 points. It was his best issue, arguably. But now it's one of his worst. Look at that. Way, way down in the basement, 18 points below water. What is that, John? Quickly, Samantha, what is that, a 26-point switcheroo in the wrong direction? This is the type of number that Democratic midterm dreams are made of and Republican nightmares are also made of.
So by and large, are voters saying it's Trump's fault?
Yeah, this is the key answer, right? Which is why? What is driving these numbers? And it is because the folks believe, the voters believe it's the Trump administration's fault. Take a look here. Okay. The Trump admin has made the economy worse or better. You go back to January of 2018, term number one, the plurality winner there was better at 40%, just 22% said worse. Look at this side of the screen, the exact opposite story. What a switcheroo, my goodness gracious, 52%. 52% of Americans say the Trump admin, their policies have made the economy worse. And look at that, just 28% say better. Even among the GOP, just 57% say they make it better. When you're only getting 57% of the Republican base to agree with the positive position for Donald Trump, you know you are in some massive trouble, which the Trump administration and Trump in particular are on the economy right now.
I'm of the opinion that that is absolutely false. I'm not even looking to defend the president on this. This is just basic common sense. I mean, the guy dropped inflation, by the way. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, aluminum, for an example, because of tariffs, that whole industry is booming. But again, it doesn't matter what I think, because ultimately it's about how people feel. And this happens every single presidency if you really think about it. You get a new president, they don't do exactly what you want them to do when you want them to do it. American people get impatient, they get amnesia, and they go against the president. That's why in the upcoming midterms, Democrats will win. We talked about it on the show the other day. I mean, go back to 1946, 90% of the time, it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat president or a Republican president, in the following midterms, the opposite party wins.
Last year, a lot of prices have come down, things like gas and eggs, but others since you took office have come up, like natural gas and coffee. When can Americans expect those prices to come down?
Well, they've already come down. I think you've seen, Tom, when I took over, eggs, poultry, all these things were through the roof. In fact, the first question I got, what are you going to do about eggs? It was my second day in office at a news conference, and they were screaming, what are you going to do about eggs? Eggs had gone up like 4 times. If you notice over the last few days, it's only a few days, but the Democrats have gone to another subject. I think they're probably saying dictator or something. They've got a new word. They don't use the word affordability anymore because prices are way down. Gasoline is, I just left Iowa, $1.99 and even $1.85 a gallon, $1.85 a gallon. That's in Iowa. Many states are cracking $2. Gasoline is way down.
So what you wear says a lot about you. Your values, your beliefs, your personality. And if you're wearing Nine Line apparel, that says a lot about you. Why? Because Nine Line apparel was founded and still owned and operated by military veterans and is determined to answer the nation's call to ensure the survival of liberty, prevent the destruction, that is, of American values. And as a lifestyle brand, they believe you deserve a chance to wear your opinions on your chest and your heart on your sleeve. That's why Nine Line creates patriotic American theme apparel that symbolizes the distress call Nine Line, echoed on the battlefield, encouraging others to be their brother's keepers and answer the call. So, not only do they give back, obviously, to veterans, but they also respond to natural disasters, and they're there for the American people overall. So, what you wear says a lot about you. So, are you ready to answer the call and be your brother's keeper? If so, shop Nine Line apparel. Use promo code DeVory at checkout to save 15% off your order. Again, use promo code DeVory. The link is in the description below. Nine Line apparel. It's by Patriots for Patriots. What if I told you that there was a president who stopped illegal immigration, who brought gas prices down, who lowered drug costs, in fact, launched a government website? You'd be like, wait a minute, that sounds like a president doing something, right? Okay. I mean, that's what's happened here. The problem is it's Donald Trump.
We have strong growth, and inflation is in fact coming down. For the past 3 months, inflation is 2.1%, close to the Federal Reserve's target, and a measure called Truflation, which is daily observations, now is below 1%. So inflation down, strong growth, stocks at a record high, and the lowest crime rate in over 100 years. Democrats don't want to talk about that. They want to hoot and holler.
If it was a Democrat president who had did these things, the breast, what is it that they were saying about Biden? He should be on Mount Rushmore. Remember when Nancy Pelosi mentioned that? So a president who doesn't even have his mental faculties in order, who left the border wide open, and then told ICE and Border Patrol not to enforce the law, belongs on Mount Rushmore? Are you kidding me? All right. Oh, and by the way, let's not even get into, hey, I'm going to, appoint Kamala Harris as my vice president because she's a black female. That guy? Are you kidding me? The DEI king? It's a complete joke. Complete joke. However, the flip side to it is the independence of our country doesn't see it that way. Here's what CNN had to say about that.
This, more than anything else, it is what is driving Donald Trump's approval rating overall down. It is the economy. It's the number one issue, and the American people believe that Donald Trump is failing on the key number one issue.
You said 57% of Republicans only say he's self. But what about independents? What are they saying?
Okay, this is what is driving it, right? Because you'll notice some days I'll say, hey, Donald Trump is doing really well amongst his base, and then other days they say he's doing really poorly overall. What is driving it is independent. And this was a number that absolutely blew my mind. Oh, my goodness gracious. Trump's economic net approval 1 year in among independents. In term one, he was 10 points above water. Look at where he is today. Whoa, 43 points below water. That's a 53-point switcheroo. You can't win elections when on the number one issue you are 43 points below water among independents. This is just absolutely atrocious.
Okay, so number one, I would say that the issue here is that the boring stories that would prove that the economy is going in the right direction is not reported. Nobody wants to talk about that. Okay, it's a boring situation when you're talking about fixing the economy. Point number two, people only feel the economy is working for them if their wages are superseding inflation. Well, that takes time. Right? Number three, this is actually important as well. The problem here is that you have Abigail Spanberger, the governor of Virginia, Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York City, proving in real time that Democrats don't care about affordability. They care about their radical policies. That's exactly what's going on right now. But we have to show you all sides so you can make up your own mind if you believe the economy is working for you. And it also is influenced by what state you live in, especially for those who live in California. To even show you more of the bias of the reporting, Trump accounts is now in effect. You'd think people would be celebrating this, right? I mean, literally, the federal government is creating investment counts for newborns. Okay, by filing IRS Form 4547, the government will contribute $1,000, and you can match that. And if you work for a particular organization, they'll match it. So that's Exhibit A. And then you have Exhibit B, which is TrumpRx.gov. A marketplace people could go to get the coupons needed to get medication at an affordable rate. Now, again, if a Democrat did these things, they'd be celebrated, right? We go back to my point earlier. Nancy Pelosi would be calling for that Democrat president to be put on Mount Rushmore. But because it's Donald Trump, nobody hears things like this unless you're listening to alternative media. Don't you think Trump RX is a good thing? Don't you think Trump accounts is a good? I mean, these are populist-driven ideas, which is what Democrats used to be all about. Maybe that's why they don't cover it, and they're not willing to acknowledge it.
Good news for families with older kids, too. Billionaires Michael and Susan Dale are putting $6.25 billion towards Trump accounts, giving $250 to each eligible child under age 12. To qualify, families just need to live in a zip code with a median income of $150,000 or below.
And that's just the bottom line to it, folks. The country's so distracted by the Super Bowl halftime show because we know, as far as quality is concerned, it's been destroyed. Okay. Commercials are in the dump. All right. And Hollywood, media, sports, entertainment, they're all focused on raging against the administration and ICE instead of focusing on doing what they're supposed to be doing, making a great product. And at the same time, in the background, I suppose, Trump RX has launched. The Trump accounts have launched. And inflation is lower than it's been in quite some time. So that's actually the full picture here. So the question for you, do you believe the economy is headed in the right direction? Answer that. And secondly, what did you make of the halftime show? I think there's some learning lessons there, especially if you have an organization like Turning Point and you have the money, you can go do your own thing and people will have another option to watch what they want. I think that's good. What about you? Give me your thoughts and everything you got in the comment section below. Now, let's go to our next video, which is a special interview with Michael Francis. He's a former crime boss, and he has a brutal message for America and our future. I think you're going to love it. If you're interested, click on that video because it's coming up right now.